My name is Ella Carlson, and I will be teaching you how to play a game called Greedy Exponents. Students will either be working in teams of 2 or they can work individually. All you need is dice and the scoring sheet. The goal of this game is to create the largest number by grouping together the dice you have rolled to create a big exponent. The person with the highest score after 6 rounds wins the game. Students will be recording their total for each round as well as the running total. This game can be used to help for review, or it can just deepen a student's understanding of the topic. Let's get into playing the game. The first player will roll all 6 of the dice. As you can see, there is 2 multiples of 4 and 2 multiples of 2 and a 1. A 1 is a wild dice, so that can be whatever number you want. In this case, it's going to be the 4. The 2s are going to get re-rolled with the 5 because the 2s were a lower number, so they wanted to see if they could get a higher number. They rolled 2s again, so they're just going to keep it as 3 4s and 2 2s. Therefore, the score would be 4 to the third plus 2 to the second for that round. Once you decide to put your numbers aside, you cannot re-roll them. You can only re-roll the other numbers that you did not want to keep as a multiple. The player is going to add up 4 to the third plus 2 to the second by showing their work, and that's going to be their round total for that round. The next player will now roll all 6 of the dice. This player got 2 3s, 2 4s, a 2, and a 1. The 1 is a wild dice, so it can be any number. They're going to make it a 4. They're going to play it safe and just keep that as their score and not re-roll the 2, which means their score for this round would be 4 to the third plus 3 to the second. They're going to add that up, and that will be their total for that round. Now it's the other player's turn for round 2. They rolled all 6 dice again and got 2 6s and are going to re-roll the other 4 dice because they were not matches. This time they got a wild 1 and they're going to make it a 6. So now they have 6 to the third and are going to roll all the other dice again. This roll they got 3 2s. They're going to keep it as 6 to the third plus 2 to the third, and they're going to add that total up for round 2. This keeps going back and forth with players deciding which numbers they want to keep as multiples and which they want to chance and re-roll. In this round, the player rolled 1 5 and 3 4s, and they counted their 2 wild dice as 2 5. They took the chance to get a higher number and re-rolled their 4s. They got 2 6s. They took the next chance and re-rolled the 2 to see if they could get a 1, 5, or a 6. Unfortunately, that player got a 2, and that is not a match for either groups. That means that player scores a 0 for that round. That is a chance you take when you decide to re-roll your leftover dice. Another way that you can score points is by rolling a straight, which means by rolling a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If you roll a straight, that would be the score of 6 factorial, which is 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. This player attempted to try and roll a straight because all they needed was a 2. They unfortunately did not roll a 2, which means they got 0 points for that round. A straight is just another way to get a big score for a round. As you can see, numbers can add up to be very big very quickly, which can make some players get ahead very fast. When it comes to the last round, round 6, the player with the most points will go first, regardless if they had just gone. This will give the player with the least points a little bit more of an advantage to catch up if they know exactly how many more points they would need to win. Thank you to the original designers of this game from Math 496, Alexia Davis, Melanie Hanko, Elena Murphy, Lucas Pohl, and Gretchen Zook.